should not defend everything that the Israeli government does, period. You are loyal to one thing only. You are loyal to Jesus Christ. And that is it. That is your stand.
Point of view where we don't believe in the divinity of Christ.
He was just a prophet. Right?
No. We don't even believe he was a prophet.
What do you think he was? What do you guys think?
What do I think he was historically? I think he was a Jew who tried to lead a revolt against the Romans and got killed.
Shapiro is out there pretending that he's Charlie's personal knight against the undeniable backdrop of how much Charlie could not stand him.
Recent leaks of private messages involving Charlie Kirk have caused a lot of discussion online. In these messages, it appears he had serious concerns about Ben Shapiro. Some people believe this supports what Candace Owens had been saying earlier, that there was tension behind the scenes. From what is being shared, Charlie seemed uncomfortable and may have felt that Ben was not fully supportive of him. There are also claims from others who say they spoke with Charlie before his death, suggesting he believed certain actions were being taken quietly that could harm his work. However, these are still unproven statements and should be treated carefully. What made the situation more emotional for many people is what happened afterward. Reports say that Ben later appeared publicly and spoke in a way that honored Charlie. This has led to mixed reactions, with some people questioning the situation and others asking for more clear facts before jumping to conclusions.
A massive honor to be here at Turning Point USA. It's even more of an honor to follow Erica Kirk, a heroic figure and a true American patriot.
This goes beyond simple manipulation and enters a truly troubling and unsettling level. It feels almost like they are mocking Charlie after his death. When you hear Charlie's honest thoughts and feelings about Ben Shapiro, it becomes clear why Candace called him a person who preys on the vulnerable.
I know that he's a maggot. I know that he just has to do maggot things. He saw Charlie's corpse, and it's just irresistible for him. That's his nature.
Recently, Candace Owens openly called out Ben Shapiro on her podcast, sharing private messages from Charlie that clearly showed he disliked Shapiro. While Shapiro now acts like he supports Charlie's legacy, the messages reveal the truth. He secretly worked against Charlie for years, pretending to be a friend while trying to undermine his efforts, and Charlie was fully aware of it. This exposes the hidden betrayal and shows that Shapiro's public image of loyalty was false, finally confirming what many suspected about the behind-the-scenes tension and manipulation between the two.
He could not stand Ben Shapiro. I have been telling you that, because Ben operated behind the scenes to try to stop his rise. He makes phone calls. He asks his fellow Jewish journalists to do hit pieces. Charlie lived this. I was there. It was driven by nothing more than jealousy.
According to Candace Owens, Charlie Kirk described Ben Shapiro as completely unhinged. Charlie knew exactly what Shapiro was capable of and even warned Candace to stay strong when Shapiro started targeting her. He saw the pattern of manipulation and tried to protect her from the same attacks he was facing himself. Candace shared a moment where Charlie encouraged her, reminding her to stand for the truth and reassuring her that the people were on her side. He told her that Ben was unhinged and to stay the course, showing both awareness and support in the face of ongoing attacks. Milo Yiannopoulos also backed Candace, revealing private messages he had with Charlie. In them, Charlie explained that Shapiro had secretly been working against Turning Point USA for years, even commissioning covert actions to undermine the organization. Milo confirmed that while he knew Charlie for a short time, all he ever talked about was how talented Candace was and how dangerous Shapiro could be. The situation became even more unsettling after Charlie's death. Shapiro showed up at Charlie's funeral, acting as a grieving friend and someone protecting Charlie's legacy, even though he had spent years sabotaging him while he was alive. Erica Kirk, who became CEO of Turning Point USA after Charlie, welcomed Shapiro immediately, despite Charlie never wanting him involved. At a fest in December, Shapiro was invited to speak for the first time, not to honor Charlie, but to attack Candace and Tucker Carlson. This sequence of events highlights the depth of betrayal and manipulation in the organization, showing how Shapiro's public image as an ally was completely false, and how Charlie had been aware of these threats all along. The story demonstrates both the loyalty Charlie tried to show his colleagues and the lengths others went to exploit his absence for personal gain. This entire situation paints a picture of deception, manipulation, and the stark contrast between public appearances and private intentions, revealing the reality behind the media narratives many people believed for years.
Charlie backing me up when Ben treated me publicly like crap, saying stand for truth, the people are with you. thank you, Charlie. I will, and I will continue to do that because the people are on the side of truth. And I said, I know. I've been through it enough with enough of these to know that truth always wins in the end. And he then laughs and wrote BTW. He was standing on a couch and I wrote, haha, so good. And Charlie said regarding Ben, he is unhinged. Stay the course.
In her latest podcast, Candace Owens revealed shocking messages involving Bret Weinstein. In June 2025, while Charlie Kirk spent 2 days at the White House, he was working tirelessly to prevent the Trump administration from starting a war with Iran. During that time, Charlie told Bret directly that he was trying to stop dangerous people, including longtime war supporters like Ben Shapiro, from pushing the country into conflict. This shows how much effort Charlie put into preventing a crisis and highlights the influence of certain individuals who had been advocating for war for years.
Decides to spend every day since the murder of Charlie Kirk casting aspersions at TPUSA and the people who work here, who worked with Charlie every single day, his best friends, to cast aspersions at Mikey McCoy and Andrew Colvin and Blake Neff and Tyler Boyer and, yes, at Erica Kirk, and to imply or outright claim complicity in a cover-up over Charlie's murder, to spew absolutely baseless trash implicating everyone from French intelligence to Mossad to members of TPUSA in Charlie's murder or a cover-up in that murder, then we, as people with a microphone, have a moral obligation to call that out by name.
Candace Owens and Bret Weinstein are now openly asking a terrifying question. Was Charlie Kirk killed because he opposed this potential war?
And he writes, right there with you, Charlie, we have to shut these maniacs down. Not only is the Republic depending on it, but the citizens of Israel are too. And Charlie said, thank you, I totally agree. Bret said, and by the way, I think the president needs us to keep the pressure on. The neocons are very vocal and admittedly powerful, but the public does not want war, especially not to be dragged into one by a belligerent Israeli regime. Charlie responds and says, I know, we need to do better. I'm doing all I can. Truly, I was in the White House all day fighting for America. Same tomorrow. Okay? These were Charlie's perspectives regarding the Iranian war. That is how Charlie felt about neocons. He felt like they were maniacs.
According to Candace Owens, Charlie Kirk also strongly disliked Ben Shapiro for personal reasons connected to faith. Charlie believed Shapiro's values directly conflicted with his own, especially his commitment to Jesus Christ. He openly shared these concerns in messages to Candace, making it clear that Shapiro wasn't just a political rival but someone who operated from an entirely different set of principles and beliefs, fundamentally opposing everything Charlie held important in his personal and spiritual life.
And here is what Charlie shared with Bret about what he was doing at the White House. Bret opens this up by saying, on June 18th, I had a text exchange with Charlie Kirk. He said he was spending 2 full days at the White House trying to persuade President Trump not to initiate a war with Iran. Given that Charlie was close with the president and that he represented a large constituency essential to Trump, and given that many proponents of the war with Iran saw a U.S. attack as urgently necessary to the survival of Israel, it is reasonable to wonder if his refusal to back down from his steadfast opposition somehow resulted in his murder.
Here's the wildest part of all this. Despite all the evidence from multiple people showing that Charlie Kirk had no respect for Ben Shapiro and was deeply suspicious of everything he was doing behind the scenes, Shapiro continues to lie about their relationship. He keeps pretending he was Charlie's friend and even acts like he's the one being attacked. On social media, he throws fits, calls Candace Owens a monster, and has tried to involve Erica Kirk in suing her. People online keep pointing to Charlie's last interview with Shapiro, which took place less than 2 days before Charlie was killed. Watching it again makes it clear how powerful that moment was. Charlie completely dismantled Shapiro's talking points and even teased him openly, showing he wasn't afraid to challenge Shapiro directly. You could see Shapiro's frustration and tension in his tight jaw and his uneasy expressions. Charlie asked questions and discussed topics that Shapiro and his team clearly didn't want anyone to hear. It highlighted exactly why Charlie distrusted him and why he spoke so openly to Candace about Shapiro's true nature. Despite all of this, Shapiro keeps pretending everything is fine, refusing to admit the truth that so many people have already exposed.
Maybe we should also ask a question. Is the media totally presenting the truth when it comes to Israel? Just a question, that maybe we shouldn't believe everything the media says.
Charlie was starting to publicly connect important dots. And just 2 days after that interview, he was gone. Coincidence? Many people online don't think so. Most of Charlie's supporters believe he crossed a dangerous line when he openly questioned the neocon agenda and the influence of foreign powers on the American government. These are topics that figures like Ben Shapiro clearly do not want discussed or investigated. Charlie wasn't afraid to ask the hard questions, even if it made powerful people uncomfortable. Speaking out like that may have put him in serious danger and ultimately cost him his life.